Let me go like this. So we're looking at percents, fractions, and decimals. And percent, if you were to break down the word, is per cent, or in other words, per hundred. So that percent sign is the same thing as 1/100 or 0.01. All right. All right, so converting decimals to percent. You want to locate the decimal. Then we'll move the decimal 2 places to the right and place our percent sign.
I'm sorry, sir. If you don't mind, can you scroll back up for a minute?
Right there.
Just a little more. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no problem. All right, so for 0.25, we want to convert that to percent. Take the decimal, move it 2 to the right. It's going to be 25%. For 1.8, take the decimal, move it 2 to the right. Notice there's only one number to the right of the decimal, so you use a 0 as a placeholder. That's 180%. Then for 7, if you don't see a decimal, they assume you know that it's to the right of your rightmost digit. Once again, move it 2 to the right, zeros as placeholders, 700%. All right, questions? All right, so for percents to decimals, make sure my thing is straight. Okay. So from percents to decimals, locate the decimal, move the decimal 2 places to the right. And I said right, I should have said left. That was my fault. 2 places to the left. And then remove your percent sign. All right, so let's see. All right, so 37%. Decimals behind the 7. Move it 2 places to the left. That's 0.37. $2.9. 2 to the left. And that's 0. 4 placeholders, so that's 0.029. And then 0.6. Decimal 2 to the left. 0.006. And also, this 0 to the left of your decimal is not that important. So if you wanted to write 0.37, that would be the same thing. Just have to make sure that whatever zeros are supposed to be to the right of the decimal are correct. Any questions? All right, any questions? All right, so the decimal to percent, percents to decimals. This is percents to fractions. All right, so percents to fractions. We're going to find a percent sign. We're going to find a percent sign. Should be able to see it if it's a percent. You're going to replace the percent sign with 1 over 100. Then we're going to multiply and simplify if possible. All right. So that means 56 times 1 over 100 because we replaced that percent with that. Remember that was mentioned when we first started talking about percents. That percent is equal to 1 over 100. If I were to multiply across, 56 over 100. Then I can simplify the fraction. Fifty-six is 4 times 14. 100 is 4 times 25. That's 14 over 25. All right. %. Do the same thing. Replace that percent with 1 over 100. Reduce first or just multiply across, then reduce. Up to you. 125 is 5 times 25. We already said 100 was 5 times 4. 25's cancel. 5 over 4. All right, one more like this. 0.4%. Same process. 0.4 over 100. But we do need to remove that decimal. So in order to do that, we can multiply 0.4 by 10. But whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top as well. So 0.4 times 10 is 4. 100 times 10 is 1,000. And then we can reduce. 1,000 is 4 times 250. 4's cancel. That'll leave 1 over 250. Questions? Any questions? Like this. All right, so fraction to percent, we're going to convert the fraction to decimal by division. Then we'll convert the decimal to percent. All right, so if I have 3/5, same thing as 3 divided by 5. That should be 0.6. We already talked about converting decimals to fractions. Decimals to percent. Move the decimal 2 places to the right. So that'll be 60%. All right, if I have 2 and 1/4, that 1/4 is 0.25. So that's 2.25. Move the decimal 2 places to the right. And that is 225%. Any questions? Anybody, any questions? All right. So that's it for 7-1. Let's go to 7-2. All right, so we're going to set up proportions in this section. Let me go with and set it up. Okay, so percent equal to is over of is the way we can set up our proportion. So let's look at our first example and see what that means. All right, it says what is 30% of 180? So what is 30% of 180? So your percent, that 30 is going over 100. Is your unknown. It says what is, and then of is 180. All right, questions on the setup. So whatever's closest to your is, whatever's closest to your of, and then whatever your percent. That's how we are looking at that. And then from there, we can either cross multiply or just solve by doing 180, multiply both sides by 180. I'll go ahead and cross multiply, just because that's something that you'll be able to do every single time, and you'll be able to lean on that. So that'll be 30 times 180, 100 times x. It's 5100 equal to 100x. Divide 100. X is equal to 54. All right. All right. So when it comes to your is over of, another way of referring to is your amount or part. And then when it comes to of, that's considered your base or your whole. So you may hear the terms amount over base or part over whole. So whichever way helps you to remember, that's the one you want to roll with. All right, so let's look at another one. So 40% of what number is 25? So you got your percent of, then is. That's 40 over 100. 25 over x. Questions on the setup? Cross multiply. So that's 40 times x equal to 100 times 25. 40x equal to 2500. Divide by 40. X is 62.5. All right. Do at least two more. So this one, 12.4 miles is what percent of 80 miles? So once again, looking for that is percentage, then your of. This time our percent is unknown, to be x over 100. Is 12.4, of is 80. Cross multiply. All right, so that'd be 80x equal to 1240. Divide by 80. X is equal to 15.5. All right. In a recent year, the freshman class of a university had 18% of Asian American students. If this represented 380 students, how many students were admitted to the freshman class? round to the nearest student. So when we go to set up our proportion, we need to establish what is the part and the whole, or the is or the of, like we established before. It was easier before because all we had was the one sentence. But here, we're looking at part and whole. We know the percentage, which is 18, and that is going to be set over 100. But like I said, when we go to the next one, we need to make sure the part or is over the whole or the total, which is our of. So 18% of the population, of the student population, or the freshman population, are Asian Americans. This represented 380 students. So the 380 students would be 18% of the total. And it says how many students, it didn't put any stipulations on it, so how many students in total were admitted to the freshman class. So that 18% lines up with the 380, and the total number of freshmen is what we're trying to figure out. So that 380 is part of the freshman population, and we need to figure out the total number of students. All right, questions on the setup before we solve? All right, so we can cross multiply. 18 times x, 100 times the 380, 18x, 38,000. Divide by 18. X is equal to 2111.1. And they want us to round to the nearest student. So that'd be 211. 3 ones. All right. Questions? Questions, concerns about anything that was said today? All right. So we could keep going, but there are only 4 sections in chapter 7. And so we knocked out 2 of them. So next class we'll knock out the other 2. So I'll pause right here. So remember, every day is an opportunity for questions if you have them. If you need to set up an office hour with me, make sure you email me. We can do it outside of the class. Do either Zoom or another Blackboard Collaborate, whichever way. We'll match up our schedules and set that up. Shoot me an email on that. It's up to you. If you need that time, I need to know so I can help you out. But if you're good, I'm good. So have a great weekend. Be safe. And I will see you guys on Tuesday, ready to close out chapter 7. Don't forget to do your assignments in Connect Math and your tests and your homework. All right, have a good one. All right, take care, take care. No problem, no problem. Thank you guys for coming through.